Hi, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of Josefine Meets. And today I'm really happy because I have Benita Königbauer with me today. Hi, Benita.
Hi, Josephine. Hi, followers of Josephine. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
And before we actually start to introduce you, because I want you to introduce yourself, I'm just going to give a couple of words about the topic, who I am, if there are anyone who is here for the very first time. We are also going to keep the comments going. We have Jamil, who is here with us. Hi, Jamil. We have Lise Karin, who is here too. So hi, Lise Karin. Hi. Happy to have you all here. So my name is Josefine Warner. I am a business coach and mentor, and we have Åsa here too. She's in Sweden. So hi, Åsa. Happy to have you here too. And I help mostly coaches to build a successful business. And that means that I, as a coach, also needs to be in a coaching program. And that is where I met Benita. So Benita and I, we are peers. So hi, Benita. Can you please give us kind of like an introduction of yourself?
Yes, of course. So thank you for having me. I'm Benita Königbauer. I'm situated in Munich in Germany. And I have two businesses, one of which is representing someone else's brand. I'm the head of Profit First Professionals in the German-speaking market. And my own business, Benita K, Love Your Business, is all about helping tax advisors, accountants, and service providers to design their dream practice, their dream business that first fits their life and their values, and second, fits their financial needs and making them profitable.
Yeah. So hi, Susie. Hi, Anthony. Hi, Orak. So happy to have you here. And I would like to come back to that business kind of because I know you kind of did a restart yourself, but let's come to that a little bit later on. So hi, Susie. So happy to have you here. And because what I wanted to talk to you about, because that is something that I struggled with, and sometimes, if I'm really honest, still struggle with, and that is the whole content creation on social media. For the first 2 years of my business, it felt as if I was just, chasing, kind of like trying to put out fires everywhere. So we have Rina here too, who's looking forward to great ideas. And we have Christine here too, who she says she cannot stay, but will watch the replay later in the week. So for those of you who watch the replays, if you do hashtag replay when you're watching it, it will be much easier for Benita and me to see if there are any questions that come up afterwards. So do hashtag replay when you watch it afterwards so that we can comment on those questions if there are any questions that pop up later on. So when it comes to repurposing, Benita, we just quickly spoke about this, and if you could just take us through your little bit epiphany, and then also how you are structuring your social media content.
Yes, of course, I love to. So actually, really, I felt the same. Everyone kept telling me, you have to put out content, you have to put out content. And actually, I'm a writer. I've written 6 books and a children's book. So I'm good at words. But leading the business and having all the stuff to do and whatever comes with it.
And living a life too, not just
living a life. And a marriage and a household and all of that.
Exactly.
I found myself dragging that content creation piece from week to week to week. It was so exhausting. Or thinking of something, you have to think that up, and then you have to write about, 1,800, 2,000 words about it. And while I love to write that, it felt like checking off a to-do list. I didn't enjoy that part. So I just didn't do it. Once in a while, I felt like, let's write a blog post. But that's not enough to actually give people an impression of who you are and how you can help them. And fast forward, we met each other in that very coaching program. And we had one of those calls where they explained to us how to continuously produce content. And I had that resource and I felt like, okay, this is really a lot to do. until we had that call. And I was listening, and then I felt like, this is actually so doable if you just streamline the process. And it helps me to leverage a VA that is helping me, AI that is helping me to do all that without losing my personal voice. Everyone who's here, who's a service provider or a coach, you know it's most relevant that people can feel you, experience you, listen to your words and all the energy and emotions that you bring. So I felt like content by no means can be outsourced to any extent. What I learned in that very call is I don't have to outsource the content producing itself. I can streamline it so it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to produce and then 30 minutes to review what my little helpers, my beloved VAs, really did for me, prepared for me.
Mm-hmm.
That is a workflow. I'm always somewhat, if I get something like that, I feel like, okay, I have to test this. And then I felt very inspired and I started to test this. And I said, okay, we're just going through that workflow. No matter what, no matter how crappy it feels at first for you, you're just keeping the process. Now I'm doing it for 47 weeks in a row.
40, did you say 47 weeks?
I did say 47 weeks in a row.
Oh my
And it's easy for me to make it. I
Yeah.
still feel like I could optimize the process and all of that stuff, but it's not a drag for me because I so enjoy to produce that piece of content from which stems all of my social media. And I created a podcast while doing this out of the blue. And it works so perfectly for my audience because they can have me, they can read me, they can watch videos, and they can have me in audio, and they can consume short little captions from me. But it's
Which is also real good because then you attract different types of people because not everyone is like a video watcher. I don't really like to look at videos myself. I'm too impatient. I prefer reading. If someone sends me a voice message, I get really nervous and like I don't have time to listen to this, even if it would be just like 30 seconds. So I think people are like, okay, so tell us, what are you doing? But before we do that, actually, Rena added a comment that I haven't pulled up yet because she says, 2 of my children were born near Munich, so it's close to my heart. Yeah. And I don't know if I put this one up before, but I'll do it again. Profit First, which is an interesting topic, and I definitely agree. I read his book. I can't pronounce his name though. But I bet you can do that, Benita.
Yeah.
But
My
exactly. But that is a whole different topic for a different time. So I say we'll just stick to the repurposing. So you say, so what you said before was like, it was a little bit of a kind of, oh shit, now I have to do, I have to create content. I even don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And now Rena asks, do you produce daily? And now we are going to go a little bit deeper into Benita's content creation process.
Yeah. Rena, so I'm not there yet to produce daily. This is something on my bucket list that I want to add over this year, that I'm producing short videos for social media, like 1 or 2 minute tips on a daily basis. I'm not there yet, but definitely on the plan. What I'm doing is a weekly process. Once a week, ideally early in the week, so my VA has a bit of time to actually create all that stuff. So Monday, Tuesday, I pick a topic. These topics come from my community. I see what's bothering them at the moment. What do I feel I want to say to them? Because a lot of my community just has a thing about it. Yeah, they feel like they need help with something. And then I pick a topic. I don't draft a lot. I just have some bullet points. So I keep the line.
Like script, like bullet point
I see
script.
that
Yeah.
topic, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I start a video like we are doing right now. I'm starting StreamYard, and I'm doing a 10 to 15-minute video on one singular topic about 3 to 4 bullet points around the topic
Mm-hmm.
and a concrete action step they can take right now to solve that problem. That's always the structure of my videos. This video, then I do upload to a software, or I don't know if it's software as a service, it's an online platform called Happy Scribe. Happy Scribe can do transcripts of videos in quite an okay quality. On a technical basis, they also have human-made, but I'm going with the technical because it's good enough. And create a transcript. My VA then takes a transcript, and which is crucial that you do have a VA that totally relates to you, your personality, and your topic, so they can sense all of these things like air quotes you're doing in the video that are not in the transcript, so they can translate your tone from the video, because you cannot publish a transcript because it's like, I don't even have a word for that. You do have
And
to work.
especially, I know you do these things in German, right? But when I speak, so if we would do a transcript of this now, for example, when I say seagulls, like the letter C goals, you get seagulls, which is the bird. So I mean, you would just take what we're saying, do a transcript of that, and put it up there. Rena, as a like she is a Rena, I kind of like forget what you are, but kind of like a language coach slash copywriter, translates from German to English and English to German and whatever languages.
Good
She
to
would
know.
be like, "Oh my God, what is this crazy talk you're doing here?"
Yeah, actually. And you cannot take the transcript and publish it as a blog post, but
Yeah.
someone really knows you well and knows your topic well, they
Mm,
can, from the transcript, produce written long form content.
mm,
So it's all about the topic of the video, but in written form, so you can enjoy to read it.
mm,
So that's what she's preparing. And what she's also preparing is from that blog post, she's extracting core sentences, captions, things that she wants to emphasize from that content. And she's taking 3 to 5 social media posts from that content and prepares the graphics and all that stuff. And she's preparing the whole blog post in my WordPress back office, including the pictures and all that stuff. So when she's done that, she sends me a go. And I'm going through that words again because,
mm,
yeah, I feel like I want to do that myself. I wouldn't have needed to, but I'm a words nerd. I love to go through my own content, and
mm.
it just feels better to me. Then I take about 10, 20 minutes, depending on how long the blog post is, and just making my adjustments.
Cool.
I schedule the blog post for Friday, 6 o'clock in the morning. I schedule the video to stream for Friday, 10. And she's also preparing a newsletter with the link in the newsletter to the blog post. And when the video streams on YouTube, I'm streaming on different platforms, also on YouTube. When the video streams on YouTube, I'm taking the link inserted into the newsletter that is prepared by her.
Mm.
I insert the link to the podcast episode that releases the same week.
Yeah.
So then we have the video stream once a week. We have the blog post once a week. We have the newsletter that informs my list about the new blog post, the new video, and the new podcast episode. The podcast episode also releases in the morning on Friday. But it's always because we have different topics on the podcast, and I started the podcast later. This is other VA that takes the audio file from the video and makes perfect. I don't know how she's doing it. Some magic with the intro and the outro and the music and the graphics and the upload. And you know what happens, all the tech stuff. She's doing that. And she's uploading the podcast.
Yeah.
So I have from 10, 15 minutes video and some editing. I do have every week a full range of experiencing. Everyone can experience on their own channel.
Exactly. And also what you said that actually before we started streaming this, you said, you probably didn't use that exact word, but that is, you said, well, then I have a library of content. So, you know, when people go to my homepage, or they want to read a blog, or they go to my podcast, or whatever it might be, that they can kind of like binge read, or binge watch, or binge listen. You give them the opportunity to know, like, and trust you, right? So we got now Rena's what she is and what she does. She is a translator. She is a proofreader and copywriter. However, it's only into English from German, and I think she knows Dutch, if I'm not wrong. Might be wrong, but anyways, Karina, for that clarification. And I also think, you know, now you actually mentioned you have your VAs, two different VAs, because you have two different tasks for them. You have kind of like the content creation, and then you have the podcasting. And you also mentioned AI. I think now for the whole kind of like the chat GPT and whatnot that they are, and then that is giving us a really great opportunity. Before we jump into that, because we had a question, might be from Åsa, who actually she also has a podcast. So this could be definitely one process for you also to implement. Did you say that you do all of those steps in the back end of WordPress, or whatever kind of homepage provider you have?
Yes, only the blog post is done in the back end of WordPress.
Yeah.
So the newsletter is done in ActiveCampaign. The podcast is uploaded on podcaster.de, which is a German podcast platform. Social media is done on social media.
And they were everywhere.
And the video is created with StreamYard.
Yeah. I started using StreamYard, which is what we are using now that we are streaming, and we are streaming live into my Facebook group. We're streaming live into LinkedIn, and we are streaming live to my YouTube channel with 41 subscribers at the same time. I mean, that is amazing. And we also get comments from Facebook and from LinkedIn. I mean, the possibilities are just immense. What we're also doing after this, because we both, it's a file that is created. So what we can do is we can download this video that we are creating, and we can use that for repurposing afterwards.
Yes, absolutely. And so I can share it as well. So it's not only on your channels,
exactly.
but channels as well, which gives you more opportunity to reach more people with your personal whatever you're doing. So you can reach more people, so you can help more people, you can solve their problems.
Exactly. That's the whole thing about audience sharing, which is a little bit, we can talk a little bit about that also, because audience sharing is exactly what we are doing now. When I invite different creators onto my platform, it's also to kind of like spread the word, help people be able to inspire. The big thing is to inspire people to dare to do new things and to find new things. But it's also about sharing audiences, because the cool thing is that I have an audience, I have a following, but not everyone will know. Well, they know me, but they might not like me, even though you might not think that. But some people don't probably, no, I don't want to work with Josefine, but I would love to work with Benita because she is a tax specialist, or whatever it might be that they like more, or you are more the specialist in a certain area. And that is why it's so important to not feel like, oh, this is my audience and I'm only kind of keeping it like this, because that's not how it works. Yeah. So if you could give your view on audience sharing and your experiences about that?
So personally, I think every one of us has a unique way to solve unique problems. Yes, sometimes we're in the market where other people kind of solve kind of the same problem. But everyone is still different in the way they provide their services. So I'm coming from a place of abundance. I feel like there are much more people to inspire in the world that I could ever handle to serve and cater to. So there's no shortage of people I can help. And some people may just listen to this video and may just take the content stuff, because that's not my original. Yeah, how do you say this? And I'm not a native English speaker, so I'm searching.
Neither am I. So that is why we're having these seagulls and strange translations.
So my expertise is different. I'm not a content creation expert. This is just some expertise I acquired on the way while helping tax advisors to create their dream practices. So
which is why I also invited you to talk about this, because I think that people can relate a little bit better. I had Åsa, who actually I think said plenty of business for everyone. I had her to talk about how to publish your podcast, and that was amazing. It's one of the most watched episodes that I have, because people want to know, how is it for someone who's not the expert, who's not the specialist on doing this, how do they do it? Because it's from them that we want to learn, not from someone who's been doing this for 25 years, or probably not social media for 25 years, but whatever it might be, right? Because they are so far away. And also when you talk about, I have my VA doing this and I have my VA doing that, if you have someone with a bigger following or a bigger kind of like has been doing this for a longer time, they have a huge team behind them who do all kind of like this, the screening, probably even writes the scripts and do kind of like the sound and the checkups and everything. And this is you as a business owner talking how you have created a process that works for you, and that is super easy to implement for everyone who's listening to this. And I'm saying that, and I know that process. Have I implemented it? I tried, because it really needs for you to be consistent. And it really needs for you to, when you, as Benita said, it's better if you start the content creation or you do your script or your video in the beginning of the week. Then it's done. And then you can create, and you can schedule these emails or posts or whatever it might be to go out next week.
Yes.
So they don't have to be that you create your video and then, shit, I need to get them out by Tuesday or Wednesday. But you can do this thing in 1 week, and then you schedule them to go out in the week after.
Yeah. Also, when I go on vacation, which I actually do, this is something that I worked a lot for, but I really go kind of a lot on vacation for a business owner. And I don't want to produce new content while I'm on vacation, because that's time for the sweetest hobby of all. He's all of my focus when I'm on vacation or on weekends. So I don't work in that time. And this is something, with using these tools, I can create that content before, and I can deliver it as people are used to every Friday, even though I don't have to be live or I don't have to be there, because everything is scheduled. And I can plan ahead because I'm not going on vacation like this. So I can plan ahead. I have some topics, and then I just take a block of 2 hours where I'm, of course, changing my shirt or things like that, so I don't look same anyway, even though I feel like it wouldn't matter. No one's watching your shirt when you're having great content, but you still feel better if you do it. And then I'm just recording 4 or 5 sessions. So if I'm back from vacation and have all that emails and all that stuff, I don't have to produce a new episode in the first week after vacation as well.
And considering that you have 47 weeks of content, you could, in theory, also repurpose things that you did 46 weeks ago. Or
It's a super valuable topic that you are addressing, because do not just produce that content. Put that content in the easiest database ever. You can just use a Google Sheet or something like that. You put the title of the content, 1 or 2 or 3 keywords, what you have been talking about, the link to the YouTube video, the link to the Facebook Live, the link to your blog post, the link to the podcast episode. You just put into that sheet. So if someone's coming into your personal realm and has a problem, or you're seeing someone online struggling with a problem, and whoa, I actually wrote a blog post about that a few weeks ago. You go into your database and you can help that individual just by asking, actually, I did write a blog post on that. Would you like me to send you the link? It's free.
And it's kind of like, it's no opt-in, so it's not intrusive or anything. So that is, yeah. We
And
also
actually can say yes or no if they like to.
Exactly. And we also got a really great question here from Rina. So she said, so the next thing is how to go about finding and selecting a suitable VA. I think this is a big hurdle for people, including me.
Yes. Yes. So I'm all about network and recommendations. So my VA is a fantastic recommendation. I will be forever grateful to the person that introduced me to her. But the people in your network, they know you well, and they may know someone else well, and they may feel like, whoa, both of them would be such a great match. So feel free to reach out to your network and ask, I'm looking for someone who's like understanding what I'm doing, who's like understanding what kind of person I am, and then engaging them. Yes, you can walk your way through Fiverr and Upwork and all that stuff. You can do this as well. And I'm sure I had very good experiences there, but they're few and far between.
Yeah, I also have I've had my business manager Paris for we worked together for over 2 years now, and that is kind of like when you find someone that you really click with. But I have also done, as you say, had a little bit bad, sometimes bad experiences, and then it's about hire and fire fast. And as business owners, we can do that. It's our brand, and it's kind of we're building. Many of us are solopreneurs or have we only hire contractors to do the different work for us. And then it's really, really important that you find the right people, but that you also, there are no hard feelings in that case when you say, this is not working. This is not working. So yeah, definitely, Rina. And what you can do, Rina, is you can say, I'm testing you. I'm testing you. Don't do like a quarterly contract with that person the first time, or a year contract or whatever. Do a month or a couple of weeks and then see, and then maybe you're like how I am with Paris. You worked together for 2 years, and with Benita, and I think yours her name is even Josephine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Great name. Maybe that is a thing. Maybe find someone who's called Josephine. Maybe that is what you need to do.
And what is really, really important is you need to be clear on what you really want and what you really expect from them. And you have to take the time to sit with them, to have the Zoom meetings, to explain them about your business, about your mission, what you're actually trying to accomplish in the world. All of that stuff needs to be understood by that person, because I think this is one of the most crucial hires you make in your business. Everyone can take care of your email. Everyone can take care of other stuff. But really translating your voice into the world, that needs to be, I don't want to say perfect, but that needs to be an optimal fit.
Yeah.
They just can get to know your voice and how you click and what matters to you if you take the time to let them in on everything that matters for you.
So we have the question, is this being recorded? Yes, since you are a Facebook user, it's streaming live into my Facebook group, the Online Entrepreneurs Community. And I save all of these recordings in the guide called Josefine Meets. So you will find this recording there and all the other recordings, that previous episodes there. So there was something you said. Yeah. So I actually, the ideal client is also so important, because one of my earlier hires, which wasn't a good fit, right? When she created visuals for me, what she used was young family, happily married, young kids and stuff like that. And at the time I was more directed towards life coaching for midlife corporate women. I was like, those are not my ideal clients. I probably more kind of tendency to divorcees than, young, happily married. So that is so important, that your ideal client is clear to you. And we have someone's comment here. It is a very nuanced thing to match the voice and tone of how you speak. Yes, definitely. And it's really important that you feel comfortable. And if you look at ChatGPT, definitely use it, or whatever all of these AIs are called or what they're doing. But you need to add your tone of voice to it, because otherwise you are going to be just like everyone else, and you will not be able to stand out in comparison to everyone else who's doing more, because we are not alone. We are not doing something that no one else does, which is also a good thing. So it's not only a bad thing to that.
It helps if you're doing that content on video, because also your VA can experience what you said on video. So the tone is coming with it. The emphasis you're making are coming with it. So she really understands that. And actually, Josefine is also doing the social media for Profit First Professionals. And that has been something she has been saying in the beginning. So actually, I'm not that much about finances. I don't know if I can do that really well. And then I say, okay, we'll try this. You're giving me your drafts. Here are some examples you can take inspiration from. And you're giving me your drafts, and we're working together. And it took about 2 or 3 weeks when she told me, oh, it's not about finance, really. It's about mindset. I'm like, yes, it's about mindset. Profit First is all about mindset. Yeah. She's like, oh, I can do mindset. So the chance to get to know what it's really about. Even if we're talking about money, it's all about emotions.
Yeah. So Susie asked a kind of like a technical question here. So you are also streaming to LinkedIn. When getting started with Stream LS, I don't know what LS is. Do you run test broadcasts to ensure everything works? We stream with StreamYard, and no, I didn't. I didn't do any test runs. But it works. So far, it's worked perfectly, and the videos are great. I also like that you are able to pull out the comments like this, that you are able to see comments from the different platforms that you're streaming to. And I think that is a super, super thing. And what we could do in theory, we could download this, we could make a script out of it.
Susie, what you can try, of course, you can try to stream into a Facebook group that has only one participant, you or your team is on there and can see what you're doing. If you feel insecure, just go live there and look how it feels. But actually, what I'd like to give for you is, it doesn't have to be perfect. People aren't into perfect at all. Look at yourself. If you're sitting somewhere and you have a problem and you really need help, would you rather have someone creating a perfect experience and taking 2 weeks longer to actually deliver that solution? Or would you say, actually, I don't care if you're calmed. Actually, I don't care if the tech stuff works. I only want you to solve my problem. And that's the same. Your clients are the same. It's not about perfect. It's about being there for your ideal clients.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So LS, she now explained. So LS is live streaming. But Susie, what I did about live streaming, because I was very reluctant, especially to go on to LinkedIn to stream live. I thought that was so scary. But what is happening here is that Benita and I, we sit like in a studio. It's just us. We see the comments from you guys. We don't even notice that we're streaming live to any platforms out there. We are just here having a discussion, chatting with you guys. If anyone is watching in from LinkedIn, if anyone is watching in from Facebook, if anyone is watching this on YouTube, that's amazing. And if they aren't, in the beginning, no one is going to watch you, then that's fine too, right? So just go ahead and just do it. So I just want to actually, we have now almost been speaking for 35 minutes. So I want to round this up. If there are any comments, please, questions, please give us the questions. If you have any questions afterwards, please use the hashtag replay so that we can go in and reply to the comments afterwards or questions. Benita, how can people connect with you?
So you can connect with me on Facebook or LinkedIn. My name is Benita Königbauer. I think you tag me anyway in the event, so you just click on the tag and you'll find me. So feel free to connect, and you can see my website. Actually, we're all on social media right now, so just reach out on social media.
Yeah, and that is actually a good thing, because what I did in the show notes, because you can plan this, you can add show notes before you stream it. All our connections are in there if you prefer to connect with people on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube. And I think we even have the link for your podcast, but that will be in German in that case, I think.
Yes, my content is mostly in German. Of course, you can go to the website, read a blog post, and have it translated with Google Translator or DeepL or whatever. But most of my content is in German.
Yeah. So Liz Karen says, this is so good. Thank you both. Thank you, Liz Karen. I hope to see you repurposing because you do videos too. So I hope to see them being repurposed. If you want to connect with me, please send me a DM. Let me know what your main takeaway was from this episode. And I would actually want to hear what you are going to implement from this episode, because I think, Benita, you gave us fantastic steps. It's just to follow this, listen to this once again, note down the steps, and you have it all done and dusted, and you can just go and implement immediately. So thank you all so much for showing up, and thank you, Benita, for being here too.
Thank you.
And I think also says, thank you so much for today. Very helpful and interesting. I need a VA. Yes, you do. VA is the kind of the answer to everything. So thank you all so much. See you in a week.